My name is Marcell Hansen, and you're listening to Small Habits, Big Changes. Let's dive in. Welcome to today's podcast. I've been getting questions in the last week or two, and I wanted to address this. I think that people in general want to do better, but they're tripping themselves up is what I see and making it too complicated to progress. Today, I'm going to give you a very simple framework to be better each and every day, and it will cost you absolutely no money. A little bit of time, a few minutes each and every day. So the story I'm hearing is, one, people are struggling to get started. And I think where that comes from is a bit of overwhelm of making the task too large. It's like, keep it simple, sister, like KISS, right? There is a very simple process that you can undergo on a daily basis. It costs you nothing. You need a writing utensil and a piece of paper, and you will be good to go. It does have to do with tracking. And this is what I have to say is that so many people reach out and say in one way or another that they're looking for perfection. And as a human, it doesn't exist. Perfection is an illusion. As a spiritual being, you are perfect, whole, complete, just as you are. But in this meat suit, the ticket we bought to ride on the human train, the spiritual experience within the meat suit is what you're struggling with. If you can put it in perspective, I think it helps. So look, you're not striving for perfection. As a human in this human game, your goal ought to be to better yourself, to get incrementally better each and every day. That ensures that you're growing, you're thriving, and the opposite of that is dying. So the goal of the human game is what? To experience it fully, which includes both quantity and quality. So whether or not you're looking at longevity, like I am, quality of life for as long as possible, 150 is the goal, but not 150 decrepit, mindless vegetable. No, the idea and the plan is to get better each and every day, to take yesterday's lessons, apply them, and continue forward. That's the human game. There is no perfection. It does not exist anywhere in the human existence. In the spiritual existence, absolutely. It's everywhere. In the animal world, there's no right or wrong. There's a balance within that system. For the human game, getting better, progress, is the key to happiness. And getting better, as you know more, you can do more, you can contribute more. And if you're lucky enough to focus on your health and your well-being, you'll be able to do more for a longer period of time. Trifecta. Okay. So we're not focusing on perfect. We're focusing on better from yesterday. And if you can put it in context, it's actually a pretty easy thing to do. If you're just a 10th better percentile, fraction, 0.1, better than you were yesterday in 10 days, you'll be 1% better than that. There's 365 days in most years. That gives you ample time to increase your knowledge, your skillful application, your perspective. It allows you to increase that more than you can imagine by year's end. And I think if you ramp yourself up here as we're going into the new year, it's an easy thing to do. And how you can get better is by picking any skill that you want to obtain and starting, whether that be breath work. You can start with 20 seconds. You can start with one breath today. And tomorrow you will take 2 and 3. And by the time you get to a month, you'll be doing 30 breaths. In 3 months, you can be doing Wim Hof's 3 sets of 30. And then at 3 months, once you're doing that, you can work on getting it deeper, or you can work on deeper as you go along. Once you obtain that skill, you can add cold exposure, exercise, meditation, rebounding, incantations, journaling, quiet, nature. So simple. One breath today. If you can take one breath fully in, fill the diaphragm up into the chest, big circular motion, and exhale slowly. You are that much. If you do that right now during this episode, by the time it's over, you will likely be better than you were yesterday. It is important to track because life has a lot going on. There's a lot of external influences, a lot going on in your daily life, in your home life, personal, professional, in your community. It is important to track a simple piece of paper, a writing utensil of your choice, pen, pencil, crayon, marker, Sharpie, whatever works for you, and note the date, what you did or what your goal was, and a simple check mark or a smiley face. If you want to hear more about tracking in depth, about other things that you can track, you can check out my recent episode on the Health Fix podcast with Janine Krause. Dr. Janine Krause has the Health Fix podcast. It's fantastic. You can find it anywhere here on Google or Apple. I do not believe she is on YouTube for the podcast, but she does have a very healthy Instagram, and I recommend highly that you follow her. We will have in the show notes her address and ways that you can contact her if you're so interested. Great naturopath, great TCM, traditional Chinese medicine background, fantastic resource. And really, Janine's working on helping each and every one of you become your own best doctor. And I can't support her more than I already do. I think her mission is right on point, so necessary and relevant in today's day and age where people are really a little lost, and turning towards someone else for governance over your body and mind is dangerous. That said, having a community or a few people that you do listen to that help inspire you, whether they're online, on a podcast, in person, in your family, in your close friend network, I think everyone can benefit from that. But only you can choose which voices resonate for you. So today, I just wanted to reiterate how simple it really is to get going in a fashion that allows you to experience more life fully. It takes the humdrum busyness out of whatever you have going on a physical level and even a mental level, and really boils it down to the facts that as a spiritual being, you are complete and perfect just as you are. You are a spiritual being. Your spirit will live on when this body has passed. Your spirit is perfect. You need not do anything, and that should bring you solace. And if you imagine you are the spirit playing a game, you've dressed up in this meat suit, you bought this ticket for this ride called life with a human experience. You get to decide what winning is. If winning is being the most belligerent you can be, have at her. If winning means living the longest and being the healthiest and being the happiest, more power to you. Whatever winning is for you, and I believe that at the base of everyone's winning definition, it includes thriving, which for me includes longevity. Though, if I go prior to 150, my gauge of the game would have been, did I live fully? Did I enjoy each and every day? Did I stop and show appreciation to those around me, whether they be animal, mineral, or human, plant, tree? Did I stop and connect with all that was around me that I wanted to? Did I live fully? Did I feel great in this meat suit? Because that's part of the game for me. I want to feel great each and every day and have boundless energy. And I think that's possible. And I think living in a state of gratitude allows that to be possible. And in my life, it has been a grounding force. When things feel like they're off course or uncontrollable, even slightly whelmed, it's really easy to refocus into appreciation, into a state of gratitude. It's really, I think it's impossible maybe to be upset, to feel riddled with issues and be grateful at the same time. So you can choose. I always say cause or effect. You can choose, but you only get one, and you likely don't get to change your mind. If you live at the effect of life, it's going to be difficult. If you live as though you are the cause of your actions, the cause of your results, then you will feel empowered to change what doesn't work and embrace what has. I encourage each and every one of you to find this sweet spot of what winning feels like to you. Documenting simple tasks along the way gives you a guideline, a documentation of your journey for the times where maybe you don't realize just how far you've come. And as we come to the end of a year, it's really easy to look back on this calendar year and say, what have I accomplished? Did I set goals at the beginning of the year that have been reached already? Am I able to reach them by the end of the year? Were they big enough? Do I need bigger goals? More than likely, yes. For next year, what is winning to me? You define that and then get it. You don't need anyone else's permission. I don't know what any of you are waiting for, except I believe from the messages I'm getting that some of you are just really overwhelmed with the idea of starting. Start right now, one breath. Fully in and let it go. Again, you can check out the Health Fix podcast found on where podcasts can be found. Dr. Janine Krause and I aired an episode. I was a guest on her podcast last week. It aired, talked quite in depth about different metrics that can be tracked for more advanced information. Check that out. Also in the show notes. If you have any questions about how you could start, or maybe you just want to share what's blocking you and get a little pick-me-up, feel free to join our wellness community. It's growing by text. The number is 206-483-2960. You can text the word yes and join. It is completely free. There is no charge to you. And that old adage of K.I.S.S is really potent. Just keep it simple. You don't need an app. You don't need to get up any earlier. You can find literally a breath in and a breath out. It may take 4, 5, 6, 7 seconds, 10 seconds. And then a check mark might take 1 second. You can find 15 seconds in your day, tomorrow or today, and start tracking simple movements ahead. I think you'll be surprised by the end of the year, certainly by the end of next year, but even by the end of this year, because we still have a little bit to go here, almost to 2 months. I think you'll be surprised at how quickly you embrace change, structure, and how much confidence and competence you can feel from such a simple act of repetition, consistency, and that commitment. And it's to you. That's the beauty. No one else, everyone else benefits, but no one else can get you to do this. But you'll do it because you want to do it, because you want a better life, because you want to get just a little bit better today than you were yesterday, and a little bit better tomorrow. I think for years, people thought I was a perfectionist, and I actually have never, ever resonated with that. I've never thought perfection in the way that people deem it is even obtainable. I do, however, think that there is perfection in imperfection, if that makes sense. I think when I learned to embrace the spiritual side, the spiritual whole of me, that's when I stopped beating myself up about being a human. You're not a human first. Just remember that. You're a spiritual being first and foremost. You signed up to play a game. You're wearing a meat suit. It's very awkward. There's a lot going on. Remember when you were little, when you were first born, you might not remember, but you didn't come out walking, talking, and competent as you are today. You got here through repetition, through practice, through focus, through commitment. Whether you're where you want to be right now or not is not the point, because today you can change that trajectory. I'm sending out blessings. I hope each and every one of you took at least 3 deep breaths during this podcast. There's still time while I'm talking, closing out the outro for you to do it. There is nothing that can recenter you quicker than your breath. It's always with you. It will always be with you in the meat suit. It's part of the game. Take advantage of this very obvious but understated power of the breath. Allow it to be the first thing, or maybe just the next thing on your list of things to conquer. From there, you will be unstoppable. I wish you well. Until next time, blessings. Be awesome. Thank you so much for listening today. If you feel any part of this episode resonated with you, then please consider sharing it with a friend who may also find value in it. And remember to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And before you go, did you know we have a fantastic free text community? If you want more bite-sized health hacks and reminders delivered directly to your phone, absolutely free, then text keyword YES to 206-483-2960. Again, that's keyword YES to 206-483-2960. And we'll see you on the inside.